Senator Wiener.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I also want to thank the Pro Tem for his leadership on this important issue. And I know we have other bills today, and I think that in combination, these bills send a very clear message that California, that we in California are going to stand with our immigrant neighbors. And these are our neighbors. These are people in our community who contribute to our community. You know, there was a comment made before about living in fear in a sanctuary city, the fear of living in a sanctuary city. Well, I live in a sanctuary city. I've lived in a sanctuary city for just about 20 years. I was a victim of crime by someone who was born as a citizen in this country. And I'll tell you what causes me fear as a resident of a sanctuary city. What causes me fear is that we may end up in a situation in this country where people are fearful of calling the police to report a crime. That gives me fear, that we might have members of our community who do not feel safe going to the police to report a crime. That we may have residents of our community who will be fearful to be witnesses about crime because they're undocumented and they think that if they report a crime or make a witness statement about a crime that they will be deported. How does that make us safer? That makes my community less safe. What gives me fear, and a lot of people fear, is that we have children who are scared to go to school because they're worried that they may come home after school and their mom or dad might be gone, and so they don't want to go to school. And there are residents in my community of 20 years who have that fear, children that we are traumatizing because of what this administration is doing and saying. And that gives me fear, and it gives a lot of people fear. What gives me fear is having families that are torn apart, where a mother or a father is deported and is no longer with his or her children, or you have children who are citizens of this country, and Senator Lara has been working on this issue, who are citizens of this country who may not even speak Spanish, and they go back to Mexico or wherever else with their parents instead of being separated, and they are children who have no experience in that country. And they now are held back because they are now being effectively deported as citizens of the United States to a country with which they don't have that same level of connection because they weren't raised there. I also just have to say that I am starting to grow weary of the, and I'll just use the word because it is, the absolute slander of undocumented immigrants that they're all criminals. It is a slander. And we know, and you know, we're talking about statistics that crime rates in immigrant communities are lower than in the general population. Anyone can commit a crime, and anyone who commits a crime, whether you are a citizen, whether you are a
Senator Wiener, can you give me a second, ma'am? You know, that was very disrespectful. You don't cuss. We know, but everybody's treated you with respect. Everybody listened to your testimony. I'm asking that you please apologize to Senator Wiener.
I will not apologize. I will not apologize.
Well, that's
Our children are dead. Our children are dead, sir, and you are trying.
I understand, but we gave you ample time. We were very respectful. And you yelling profanities at Senator Wiener is unacceptable. Go ahead, Senator Wiener.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That, you know, anyone can commit a crime. Citizens commit crimes, as I learned firsthand. People who are documented, people who are undocumented, anyone can commit a crime, and anyone who commits a crime should be held accountable for that crime. But to start linking immigration policy to some sort of belief or understanding that people who are undocumented are somehow more likely to commit crimes is just it's wrong. And, when we talk about some of the stereotypes that we hear, when my grandparents and great-grandparents immigrated here from Eastern Europe and from Russia 100 years ago, they came here for the same reason that people are immigrating to this country from Latin America and elsewhere. They didn't come here to commit crimes. They came here to find success, to make lives for themselves and their families. And that was true 100 years ago with people who were fleeing Russia and coming here to make lives for themselves, and people who are coming here today from Mexico, from Central America, from elsewhere. And we need to embrace our immigrant neighbors and stop with this demonization.